Hi there, I'm Camilo Torres, and welcome again to Flow Community Podcast. In here, we're going to have beautiful conversations with amazing people that has joined our community. We're going to get a lot of inspirations from their life journeys, their creations, their passions, because we believe that when you share your unique story, you can be an inspiration to others. So please enjoy this new episode. And also, I would love to invite you to join our community. And if you would like to be part of this podcast, please go for more details to our website, flowwithcommunity.com. Thank you. So please welcome the amazing field director, Yorgo. Hi, Yorgo.
Hi,
Thank
Camilo.
you so much for being here, and it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for joining the community.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be in the Flow community.
Great. And how is the film industry? I mean, I don't know much about that. I would love to know what you do. I have read your biography, and it looks like you started very young when you were 14.
Yes.
Anyway, I will let you talk about it yourself.
So I started as an actor. No, actually, no, I'm lying. I started as a dancer when I was 5-6 years old. I was doing ballet dances because a friend at that time, we were children, but she was like, oh, I want to dance. And I was like, I want to dance too. So I went to dance classes, ballet. And then I was like, there's something missing, I was like, I want to move my body in a more animalistic way.
Okay.
Already from a child, I was like, so I went to hip hop, modern jazz. I was like, couldn't find really. And then when I was 18, I moved from Charleroi, which is where I was born. So I was born in Belgium, but my dad is Greek and my mom, she's Italian. That's why I'm called Yorgo.
And it's very hard to pronounce your name.
I know, but now there is a famous Yorgo, so people now sometimes it's easier for them to say my name because there is a film director called Yorgo Glynatsis. Okay. And I was like, oh my god, it's like Yorgo. It's like, yes, but I'm an original one. There is no S for me. So yeah, I was dancing, and then when I was 18, I discovered dancehall and Afrobeats. And nice. My body reacted to it, and I was like, yeah, I can shake my whole body. But as an actor, so I started when I was 14 years old. So okay. I was a dancer, and then I was like, I like to be on stage, and I like to perform. I was always imaginative, and I had so many ideas. I was saying to my parents, it was like, yeah, calm down, this is not a reality. So they put me in theater, so I studied as an actor in the theater. Then I moved to Brussels, the capital of Belgium, and I was doing both. So I was doing acting and dancing, and sometimes I could combine the both on a show. And then I think when I was 24, I moved to London because I felt I wanted an international career, and I always felt because of my mixed heritages, I was like, I don't fit in Belgium. So I had a bit of a struggle with my identity. Right after I discovered I was gay, so that was underneath. So I had two conflicts with myself, my heritages and then my sexuality. Okay. Then I moved to London, and then I discovered I want to be an actor. So kind of I studied again because I had to act in English. I had to, network and kind of studied again. So I had a bit of a slap on my face. He was like, oh, this is like America here. But then with my personal life, so my personal life and creative life literally linked together, I think, before I turned 30. Mm-hmm. I said to my parents I was gay because I was not out to my parents before that.
Wow, okay. And when was that?
So now I'm going to be 35 in July, so 4 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, that's not that long ago.
Wow.
Some people are shocked.
I came out when I was 19.
Oh,
I think.
wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's really funny because you live in Colombia.
Yeah.
So sometimes from the outside, it feels like that can be conservative. And I was living in Belgium where they're kind of more open-minded, but I struggle because I was in a Mediterranean family, and when they were seeing some gays on TV, for example, they were making comments.
Right.
So that was not a safe space for me to tell them. Now we had this conversation and I told them I forgave them because they didn't have the capacity and the knowledges and the background on how to create a safe space in case one of us or my brother and I were gay, But now we have a great relationship. It's a working in progress.
Nice.
But we have a good relationship. I feel safe. I feel I can be vulnerable with them, and I can share more intimate stuff. My dad is still a bit uncomfortable sometimes. He's listening, but I can see he's uncomfortable. But I'm making on purpose to push the conversation because I was like, you're gonna get used to that now. I'm not going back to the closet, especially with my career. That's why I feel my personal life and my creative life and career is linked because I became a film director. Mm-hmm. So fast forward, during the pandemic, I've realized that was not enough for me just to be an actor. I had so many stories in my head. I wanted to use my voice, and I felt as an actor I was trapped into boxes and labels, and I had to fit. And I couldn't fit because I'm mixed race. I'm Belgian, Greek, Italian. I speak French as a mother tongue. So I was confusing the casting directors and the directors, like, where do we place him, But I remember my first agent told me, he said, it's because you are not British, I sign with you. Because this is your selling point. Uh-huh. And at that time I didn't understand. I was like, yeah, but they're not going to cast me because they want this. They want a stereotype of someone, a French person. I'm not a stereotype because I don't look like the stereotype. And I'm not fully Italian. I'm not fully Belgian. And I'm not fully Greek, Uh-huh. But in the pandemic, we were forced to work on ourselves. And I was like, I'm done waiting. I'm done letting people or the film industry telling me how I should speak, who I am. Or even if the gay community sometimes, I'm done also trying to fit in the gay community because I am like I am. I like hip-hop, I like dancehall, sometimes I like rap, and yes, I'm gay.
Interesting that how the film industry, I feel like all industries are like that. Yeah. The design, I don't know, I cannot relate much, but in the design industry, if you're from some part of the world, they expect you to design this way or because you have the background, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, interesting that.
Yeah, and then when you don't do that, they're like...
Yeah, why are you doing something different?
Yeah. No, you should do that, but... No, that's the magic of being creative is you can do whatever you want, you can create whatever you want, and or heritage or sexualities or upbringing doesn't define us. Correct. I am Yorgo. I'm not gay. This is not my personality. It's part of me.
Yes.
Or I am Greek, I'm Italian, I'm Belgian. This is part of me, but this is not my full personality.
Correct.
So that's why I'm trying now with my films to create conversation, raise awareness on some topics, For example, my first short film is called Trigger, is about sexual consent, because something happened to me in the past that at that time I didn't realize that was a sexual assault. The nurse told me, but my brain was like, no, I'm not a victim of a sexual assault. I am a man. It's impossible that this is happening to me. So I had also some ignorance because I was saying, I am a man. It doesn't happen to men, right?
Yeah. And let me introduce you. Yes. I recommend everyone to watch Trigger in Amazon, I think.
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime, but you have to type These Untold Secrets on Amazon Prime because the distribution company sold to Amazon Prime, but it's 5 LGBTQ short film.
All right.
So These Untold Secrets, and the second film is Trigger.
Yeah, and I watched it and very interesting and super, super inspiring because I think in the gay community we think that our experiences some of our experiences should be just valid and not being like, hey, it's been an assault.
Yeah,
And
it's not okay, actually.
yeah, and it's not okay, exactly. And it's very interesting. Like when I watch it, I was also identified with some of the occasions that you put on that short film. But yeah, let me continue.
No, I just want to jump off what you're saying is saying like acknowledging it, saying it's not okay because. So it's during the pandemic I've seen a TV series that the actress was the writer, and she did. I got inspired by her because she wrote about her traumatic experience, and so one of the scenes was exactly what happened to me. So this triggers me. So that's why I call it trigger, and everything came back to me, and I was like, oh wow, this is a sexual assault. So I felt I was like, oh, there is a representation of what happened to me. So I'm not the only one experienced that. But I went through therapy, but I realized that was not enough for me. So I went on a roller coaster of a journey making this first short film because I wrote it, directed, and starred in it. So I relieved the trauma. Some people say, you were crazy. I was like, I know. But for me, it was very healing and therapeutic. So, creativity, art in general, can turn pain into art and can inspire others. And since this film, something just opened up in me. This fire inside of me to just create and help other people, but through storytelling. So that's why I felt now becoming a film director and writer, producer. Now I have the power to change things in a positive way and to create conversation and make people feeling safe to be vulnerable. You know, because being vulnerable is actually a power.
Correct, 100%.
And I realized this is my actually superpower. I think everyone has a superpower. For me, I've realized is being vulnerable. Since I being vulnerable in my personal life, in my professional life, I attract projects and people that they relate to me because I'm vulnerable. And then they're getting vulnerable with me. But when you're vulnerable, you are powerful because no one can touch you. No one can destroy you. Because it's me deciding to share something personal or vulnerable.
And it's your true colors.
It's my true color, so no one can touch me. And like right now, like what we're doing right now.
Yes.
You know, whatever people gonna say, it doesn't matter because I know this is true to me, and I know I'm spreading something positive. And maybe someone listening to this podcast will be like, oh, I went through the same, or I feel connected to Camilo or me. And they might start conversation with other people, and I call it this a ripple effect or domino effect.
Yeah.
Nice. It's just one person. Correct. This person then gonna talk to another person, and maybe this person gonna talk to 2 or 3 people, and then you do that. And we need more of that in this world, especially right now.
And I think accepting your vulnerability and being out there, it's more powerful. Like what you show yourself and what you produce and what you create, it's more special because it has something real rather than
relatable. Yeah, a lot of people have seen my film, and so I went to Fuse Festival. We won an award, so I could meet people, the audience, which is really nice because obviously it's nice that the film is on Amazon Prime. I'm not saying that I'm not grateful. I am, but I think the best experiences for me was when I was at the screening with people, so I could see their reactions and their thoughts on it, you know, and the debate sometimes. But a lot of people came to me and said thank you so much because it's so relatable, and I think people want more relatable stories.
100%.
You know, now that we have access to so many streaming platforms, so it's easier to have access to films and stories. But for me, it feels like they're just producing content.
Correct.
Without the depth of the stories. Some they are really good. I'm not saying that, but I think people want more relatable stories.
To get inspiration and then
you can connect to the character.
Then you can connect, and maybe your journey it's very different than the other stories, but it inspires you to just go ahead and do the next step for your journey, your personal journey.
So I was inspired by Michaela Cole. So she wrote and starred in I May Destroy You on BBC, and that's why I got inspired to do my short film because it happened to me. But she's a black woman. She's black and a woman. Mm-hmm. And really, I shouldn't relate to her, right? But that's why we are inspired by people that not because of the skin color, the sexual genders or anything is the emotion or the experiences we go through. This is how we connect on a human level. So that's why I want to challenge stories, and in films especially, and the film industry in general, to be like, any lead characters can inspire people, even if, for example, a gay character can be a lead and inspire straight people.
Correct.
You know? Because now it's changing more and more, which I'm very grateful. I'm trying also to do, not trying, I'm doing it with my films, is to, the character is gay or trans or queer in general, but this is not the only thing. You know, it's not like, oh, he's gay. That's the story. No.
Right.
He's going through something. I don't know. Maybe he can be like, he wants to be president, you know? That's the real story. But he appears that he's gay. Or he appears there's a trans character, for example. And I think this is more interesting because we need, I think, as a queer people, we need more representation. And not only coming out or for trans people just transitioning or them being raped or them being drug addicts, abused and stuff. It's enough, you know. I know a lot of trans people, they're happy, you know, and they have a good life and they have good relationship and they have dreams and goals and they're successful. And I think right now it's time to tell more those kind of stories for queer and trans people.
Yes.
And I'm here to do it too.
Great.
So
and
watch out.
And thank you so much for opening like that portal. Like you are the channel for all these other stories that hasn't been told. And yeah, you're right. I think we all have different journeys, and the journey, it's you relate because of the journey rather than your background.
Yes.
And your emotions, your experiences. Completely agree. And no matter if you're gay or whatever the color skin you are or gender or whatever, yes, you're right. Like we can relate a lot, and then we can learn from that other people's journeys to just go in your own journey.
Yes.
So it's special.
Yeah, it's really special because we just have to take the layers out. At the end of the day, we're just human beings.
Correct. Correct. Exactly. We all human beings. We're here to love.
Journey.
In a journey and to love. I am super pro, and I feel like in every podcast that I'm filming, I talk about self-love, and self-love is so important because like when you have a self-love, you can respect others, and you can just also respecting and also see people's journeys and respect people's journeys.
Even if you might not agree sometimes.
Correct, yeah.
You can understand where they're coming from and say, okay, I'm accepting, and we move forwards. You know, we don't have to agree on everything.
Nice.
As long as they're not homophobic, transphobic, and racist and stuff.
Well,
there is
yeah.
But
that's hate, and then when we go to hate, then it's another. Also, you have to from my opinion, I understand the hate because this person that hates maybe had some traumas that they haven't healed.
Oh, for sure, that's a fact.
And then it's their journey, and maybe they don't want to go beyond that. And I respect that.
It's a defense.
Trying
I
to
think
get out of those being.
I think it's a defense mechanism.
Correct. Yes. Exactly.
So we can understand doesn't mean gonna have a relationship with someone. So, sorry, that's what I think my point I want to say. I will understand. I can understand doesn't mean I will have a relationship with this person. That's their journey. This is my journey, and my surroundings are so important right now. To come back to self-love. Self-love is also important with who is around you. Because if you surround yourself with people that are, toxic, and we all are a bit toxic. I think I am a bit toxic in.
Are we?
Yeah.
No, we are.
But we are aware. I'm aware of it sometimes. That like, oh, that was a bit toxic. What I said that, or the behavior I had with this person. So I will reassess myself. I will apologize. It might take some time, sometimes, to realize it. But something I'm really sure, and this is self-love, not blaming myself or shaming myself and be like, oh my God, I did that. I was, oh my God, I'm toxic. I say that and stuff. Be like, it's okay. I'm a human being. I'm a working in progress human being.
Correct.
I will apologize and I will reassess and see how can I do better the next time. And I think that's
super special.
This is what you can do. This is
100%. And then actually yes. I mean, I don't call it we're toxic. I call it like we are human beings with a lot of mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Everybody, this journey that we're going through is never ending. And maybe sometimes when we going up, maybe go down a little bit again, and it's okay.
It's not a straight line.
And it's not a straight line. And when you make some mistakes, just let it go. Yes. Of course, what you said is very important. Apologize if you hurt people around you.
Allowing people to do mistake and say the wrong things. I think this is important for me to be like, I allow you to say the wrong things to me. To do the wrong things to me, but then the next stage is, okay, let's talk about it. Let's try to not do it again.
Correct. And put your boundaries.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, this is actually what is boundaries. Boundaries is not putting walls.
No.
Because I think people, misunderstand or misinterpret that. It's not blocking. It just be like, I allow you to say what you said. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you how I felt about it. This is why I come back to being vulnerable, because I used to not share my emotion and what I was really feeling. When people were hurting me, I was not telling them. So it built up inside of me. Mm-hmm. And one day I explode. And I was a different person. Not great to be around it when I explode. But now I find it's like, I need to share, I need to say it. And this is the power of being vulnerable, is be like, I accept the way you are, but just let you know what you say, I didn't like it. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't like it, and let's move forward in our relationship. Don't say that again, or don't say it that way. Mm-hmm. And then you can see if the relationship is going to work, if the person receives it, and it's like, oh, sorry. I didn't know, you could feel that way, and I'm sorry you felt that way, and then we build up, I think relationship in general, romantic friendship.
And if the person say, I don't care what you feel, well, it's time to let
then that's my decision to be like, do I carry on with this relationship?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. So and you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, and that's your boundary. Like, okay, yes, you let people know how you feel, and if the people, it's not happy with the same way you feel, and then it's up to you if you want to continue.
And I think it's okay also to tell them, not straight away, because sometimes you are caught in the moment.
Correct.
And you don't realize how you're feeling, and you'll be like, oh, what happened here? And then you sleep on it, and you feel all those emotions, yeah? And it's okay to come back and say, actually, what you told me a week ago, even if a month ago or whatever, to be like, actually, I didn't like it. So it's okay also, because I felt I couldn't come back to a conversation, but now I allow myself to be like, no, because it's for me, because I'm emotional sensitive, I'm a Cancer, so this is really affecting me emotionally, you know. My body will tell me when some emotions are trapped. So I'm learning more and more to release those emotions in a healthy ways instead of like screaming and being like crazy person.
Nice. And I love what you said, like, when it's a bad situation or a strong situation or emotional situation happens, just maybe take some rest or take it out of this, like, few days, few hours,
That
few
works for me.
seconds, few minutes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good advice for everyone, because sometimes you just say first thing that come out in that situation, and maybe it's not what you really are or what you really want to say.
Every time I say it, the moment I regret it.
Yeah.
So now it's like I sleep on it, and if I still feel I'm gonna say it that way, then I will. So I don't have any regret, and my conscience is clean and stuff. Most of the time, I'm like, no, I can say it in a different way.
Nice.
You know.
Okay, and well, to end our podcast,
Hours and hours.
we can. Well, hello. This is the first of many.
Yes.
So you're always welcome here, and everybody's welcome here. Let us know about what is your next projects. Yeah, what are you doing? Like, what films are you coming?
So, as you mentioned, my first film Trigger is on Amazon Prime, from These Untold Secrets. After that, I've directed and co-directed and co-produced documentary for a charity called Metro Charity, and we are actually right now nominated for the Charity Film Awards, which is apparently the Oscar for the charity sector.
Wow!
So I'm like,
congratulations!
That's a big deal.
Wow!
So thank you. But you can see on YouTube. So you
Okay.
just type Metro Charity and you type Well Proud Metro Charity, so you can see the documentary about mental health within the LGBTQAI plus community, but especially the black communities, black identifying communities, and from the global majorities. For example, apparently we are from the global majorities.
Okay.
Before the term was like ethnic minorities. So now they
Okay.
changed it to make it more positive. I think this is good. Global majorities, because we are actually everywhere. And so there is this, and then I've directed and co-produced with the marvelous Sophie Avi, which is she's a trans woman, British, Greek, Cypriot actress, producer, writer. It's called Coupe Pia, and we're gonna go to film festival very soon, so I will let you know. And then there is another short film which I have co-directed and co-produced with first-time filmmaker Maxime Bonnet. It's called Unravel, and also is gonna hit film festival very soon, and it's about healing from childhood trauma. I'm gonna summarize like this. So it's about awareness, about going through therapy, and so if you can follow me on Instagram, or actually maybe it's better the productions company. So it's House of Glynatsis. You can follow this on Instagram, or the website is www.houseofglynatsis.com, and you can see all the news and Instagram and everything.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening. And all the information is going to be on our website, flowwithcommunity.com. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye.